So I don't make TikToks or Instagram Reels anymore, but when I did, the question I got the most often was, are those Paradiddle tattoos? Yes. Yes, they are. Every learned skill has fundamentals, and in the world of drums, we have these things called rudiments. The rudiments are the building blocks of drumming, and depending on who you ask, there are roughly 40 of them, but the paradiddle, in my opinion, is one of the most important. If I was to sit down with someone who'd never held a pair of drumsticks in their life, the first thing I would teach them is the single stroke roll, just hitting the drum, alternating strokes, right, left, and so on. The second thing I would teach them is the double stroke roll, similar to the single stroke, but this time it's 2 strokes per hand. Right, left, right, left, and so on. The third thing I would teach them is a paradiddle, which combines singles and doubles in groups of 4. Single, single, double, single, single, double, right, left, left, paradiddle, and so on. And yes, to the confused dancers among you, the paradiddle is also a tap step. Heel, spank, toe, heel, spank, toe, heel. Seems easy enough, but a clean paradiddle at speed requires precision and dexterity. A smooth paradiddle at a tempo like 180 beats a minute or faster takes a long time to master. So, why paradiddle tattoos? I got these done when I was 21. If you're new here, how long ago do you think that was? My roommate Mike and his then girlfriend, now wife Annie, were planning to get their first tattoos, and they asked me if I wanted to come along and get one as well. Permanence is kind of a weird concept for me, and for that reason tattoos had always kind of freaked me out, but Mike was getting something really small, a little coffee cup on his forearm, so I tried to think of small tattoo ideas. Our fridge at that house was covered in sticky notes with inside jokes on them, and as I was thinking of tattoo ideas, right front and center at eye level was a sticky note that had a paradiddle written on it, and that settled it. The next question was placement. I wanted them to be noticeable, but I also wanted to be able to cover them if needed. I eventually landed on arms, but I wanted to get them in a place where the skin wouldn't warp too much as time went on. The biggest reason that I chose this exact location, though, is that humans have a series of muscles in the forearm that connect to the tendons in the fingers. They're called the extensors, and I'm oversimplifying here, but I'm not a doctor, so cut me some slack. You can actually see them activate if you go back and forth between opening and closing your hand, and they kind of wave if you wiggle your fingers. Since drummers mainly control the action of the drumstick with their wrists and fingers, these muscles develop a little more prominently. I call them the drummer muscles. So apart from wanting them to be readable when I crossed my arms, I also wanted to get them on my drummer muscles. So come to think of it, actually my favorite part of this story is how I landed on the font. So I'm in the parlor and I'm looking through their font book, and I liked American Typewriter. This is the kind of nerd Mike is. I love him. He looks at American Typewriter and he goes, I'm not letting you put that on your body for the rest of your life. And he looks up at the tattoo artist and he says, try Courier New.
Get a load of this guy? I love this guy.
In the moment, it was so goofy, but he was 100% right. If you want more specifics, I got the tattoos done by Mike Bagwell, who owns Ironclad Tattoo Co. in Troy, Michigan. They took about 90 seconds per arm. I barely felt them, and they only cost $80, which was the minimum price for any tattoo appointment. And frankly, best $80 I ever spent. Drummers love them. Non-drummers always ask what they mean. They've started hundreds, if not thousands of conversations over the years, and you can't put a price on that. I always love the guesses from non-drummers as to what the tattoos mean. I'd say the most common ones are cheat code in a video game or directions to somewhere, which I think is a little silly, but I'm not going to judge. And if you're curious, they are the only tattoos that I have. It's kind of challenging as an actor because every tattoo that you get, you have to be able to cover it up with makeup if a part calls for it, and covering a tattoo with makeup is both expensive and time-consuming. I was in a play once where I had to cover them up, and it took me like 15 to 30 minutes a night to get the makeup right. It was challenging. I also just like them a lot, and I think it's unlikely that lightning will strike twice and my next idea will be just as good. And that about covers it. Thanks for watching this little movie about my tattoos. What do you think of my tattoos, Sweet Lou? Sweet Lou still doesn't want to talk to you. And as usual, here are my favorite photos from my photo walk this morning. And if you want to further support my work, there are ways to do that in the description. I'll see you tomorrow.